Hey, back in the building. What's going on, family? How we doing? Welcome back to another OhnahjiU Saturday on this April 4th. Yes, day 230 on this daily stream journey. How's everybody doing, man? Good morning, GM. I'm Ohnahji B. I'm Brian, founder behind Ohnahji and Ohnahji University. Started the collective, the community, the art project back in 2022, and in February 2022 pivoted into education. So yeah, our mission has been to educate the home team, Black, Brown, and Allied folks in emerging tech, and we've been having some goated conversations. Our longest running segment on these Saturdays, OhnahjiU Saturday, 10 a.m. PST. So welcome back. I hope everybody's doing well. What's going on? What's going on? What's the vibes? Let me make sure. I want to go back to bed. Mm, mm. Nacho, hey, not gonna lie, yeah, I slept in. I feel that kind of vibe. I want to go back to bed as well too. Um, Late night, but it was a good time. Not gonna lie. Saturday night, hey, Yeezy season, it was amazing. Not gonna lie. It was not gonna lie. Yo, fresh cut. Yeah, man. I had to hit the barbershop one time. It's been a hot minute, but yes, sir. Appreciate you, Nacho, man. How's everything going with you? Looking good, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, bro. Trying to get the eyes doing a little bit better. We in there. Looking like we might be in the clear. So it's all good. Um, but yeah, man, how's the weekend starting off for you? What's going on? What's the word, man? I haven't even seen any like headlines or anything like that. Let me see. Let me see what we got going on, man. Um, let's get in here real fast. Yeah, just a bunch of yay on my timeline. But let's see. Um, Take a look at some charts real quick before everybody comes piling in here. See what we got going on. So yeah, y'all, we've been having some amazing conversations in emerging tech. Some of my favorites, the blockchain side, where with the art layer, art, music, NFTs, all that good stuff, the non-fungible tokens, but also the fungible token side. Bitcoin at number one, Ethereum number two, Tether stablecoin number three, all the way on down. I think, what are we at now? Almost 50 million coins, 47.66 million different coins. Busy man. 9 days till the trip. Got a lot of stuff to do before you leave. Hey, let's get it. No, that's gonna be so gas, bro. Have such an amazing time. That's lit. That's lit, man. I can't wait to see some goated pictures, man. You've been sharing some pictures in the court. That's big love, man. I love to see it. That's fire. No, you're gonna have a great time for sure, for sure. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Take a look at some coinage. I haven't really looked at this in a minute, to be honest. To be honest. A little coin market cap action. Let's see what we got going on. Okay. Market it up. Market up a 0.5%. Hey, I'll take it. It's all good. $2.35 trillion in crypto. Um, for big picture, have you heard of the All In podcast? I think you have mentioned it before. I think I have heard of it. Um, I don't know. I don't think I have. With Jason, is that the right person? It looks like it. Entrepreneur, angel investor. What's he in? He looks kind of familiar. What is he in? The All In pod. No, I definitely have seen this logo. It's like four rich mofos. One is the AI. Cesar for Trump. Oh, really? Hmm. Interesting. How long has that been going on? Let me check this episodes real quick. Hold on. See what we got going on. Oh yeah, they had an episode yesterday, huh? Reason I bring it up, they were talking about the quantum threats Bitcoin last episode at the tail end. What are they thinking? What are they thinking? That's interesting. Yeah, I see that episode. Let's see. Share this tab instead. Boom, boom. Chama basically said that Bitcoin's got 5 years to get it together. I think that's plenty of time. I think that's plenty of time. I think it might be like 3 or 4. But yeah, I think they got plenty of time. Yeah, no. Let's see, episode 266, Central Space X IPO, impact on Tesla. Okay. Future of space exploration. They were talking about quantum at the end of that, huh? Cool. Let me tell you the timestamp if you want to react to what he said. His analysis is interesting. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, send me that timestamp. 5 years. Hey, you got my guy in the building. Let me pull him on up. Yeah, 5 years is long, I think. But hey, maybe. I don't know. Let me get my guy I see through in the building. Dean of Magic. Hey, I see. How you doing, GM family? What's the word? How you feeling this ONJUU Saturday?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm alive. All good. Oh, okay. Guess you're having technical issues. Anyway, good morning, everybody. While B's getting it together, I saw he was talking about some charts. I don't follow those charts, but I did see Nacho was talking about somebody said Bitcoin has 5 years to get its shit together. Uh, I don't think it really needs to get anything together. It's just kind of minding this business, doing this thing.
That sounds amazing. I hope not. What's going on? How you doing, man? Yeah, I couldn't
Are
hear
you
you, but
back?
it's all good. I'm back. I got you now. Yep.
Yeah.
Fresh easy.
I
Boss
think
2.0 in the thing.
to quantify that statement, Nacho, I say that because it's a matter of perspective of what you think Bitcoin's value is or what its purpose is. If you view it as an investment vehicle by which you're trying to get rich, then sure, you want to inflate the value as much as possible, and that's may determine what you consider, getting your shit together. I don't know that that's necessarily what everybody's intention is for it or use case is for it. So that's why I say, technically, based on the reason it was created, it's doing what it's supposed to do.
Interesting. Shouts to Nacho. He said he had to add. And now he's back. W Nacho. WI. I mean, what do you mean by that? What do you think it was created for? Boss at LOL. What's going on, boss? How you doing? Family's good to see you.
Oh well, basically,
Sorry.
Nacho, I was just saying that it. I mean, as an entity, it exists as proof of concept for digital currency. Like it it exists. Like it doesn't necessarily need to get its shit together. It exists as it is, as the proof of concept. So by get its shit together, I can only interpret that to mean people wanted to increase its value so they can make more money off of it. I guess. I don't really know. I didn't read the report, but I can't, like, what else is there that people want it to do to get its shit together outside of that? If it's about being used in terms of practical application outside of an investment vehicle, well, that's not Bitcoin's responsibility. That's humans' responsibility to figure out how to use it. But as what it is, it exists as it was meant to. So I don't really feel like it needs to get its shit together. That's really what I meant by it.
You know what you're saying? You saying that it has to be re-architectured to quantum proof it. Yeah, and I think there's already quantum resistant chains and coins and stuff out there right now. Wallets and everything have to be redone. Yeah, I
Oh, you're
mean,
talking about like encryption? I mean,
yeah,
honestly, if people were really serious about knowing what encryption is, what it means, how it works, the levels of it, like most people don't really understand any of that. And a lot of the conversation that's going back and forth about it is just people talking in sound bites and snippets of what they're seeing. But like any real encryption expert probably would have predicted that it has to evolve at some point with AI on its back. Like you can't you you can't kind of exist in this world where the level of encryption that you created, at some point is locked in time and unbeatable forever, when you're also working in advancements on quantum computing right beside it. So the thought process kind of has to align, like that Bitcoin would not be the final evolution of this concept. So I don't know that it's Bitcoin that needs to get its shit together. It might just be something new that comes that even replaces Bitcoin. I think people have latched onto it and become like Bitcoin maxis, or like spokespersons of a thing, because it's seen as a way to make money. That's why I'm kind of stripping that away from it. And like I understand the criticism that like it's not as secure as people thought it was, but it was never going to be secure forever, indefinitely.
Most definitely. I think, yeah, like I was saying, I think, I mean, but I mean, as it sits though, as this experiment, it's still in that number one spot when it comes to crypto. I don't know. I think I'm sure it's in someone or a bunch of people's best interest for them to try to quantum proof this. Will they be able to do it? I don't know. Will they be able to do it in time? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We'll just have to wait and see. Um, it's just all an experiment, man. If that's the piece that does take it to zero, that would be the piece that takes it to zero. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know. Well, I was looking for that article that you posted in the cord. Which which channel was it in? Actually, I could just search for you. Huh? I think the problem they are pointing out is that billions tied into crypto currently, they can go poof soon as a bad actor gets access to quantum. Exactly. Yeah, and that's been a real threat for
And
for a couple
and
years
it's not
now.
even a threat. It's going to happen. It's going to happen
Yeah,
repeatedly. Get used to it.
the threat or it happening.
It happening.
Maybe.
That's the
Maybe.
consequence. I mean, the same can be said, maybe not at that scale. That's kind of the thing. When we move from this world to get the benefits of being able to like operate in a digital format with currency, you also open up the floodgates to the abuses that come with that, and the scale of that growing as well. Because if you can do things in increased capacity and speed, there's going to be more fraud and higher levels of it, because that's just the nature of things. So I mean, if anything, it exposes, or will continue to expose, just kind of how all made up. This is like an agreed upon game of make believe that we all play when it comes to quote unquote money. And maybe that changes how we structure some things, because we're going to go through with this experiment of digital currency. Um, yeah, I'm here for the ride, just like the rest of us. So, I mean, don't believe anybody that tells you they know exactly what's going to happen, because I think a lot of people are making things up as it comes. They're reacting. So, yeah, good times.
I mean, yeah, and we've had this discussion a lot with OhnahjiU. It's like I don't know. I think it's just a return to like this whole in community barter and trade system. You know what I mean? I think we need to return back to having the discussion around what is valuable, what you can put out into the market, what you can put out into the world that is valuable, and I think this digital currency, thing this super hyper niche that we're in. I mean, I think that's a cool little experiment in that, and I don't really see anything wrong with that, to be honest. Um, I thought it was really cool that artists can come in, artists, designers, musicians can come in and say, "This is what I think. This is what my creation is worth," and people may or may not have been, willing to part with that amount of money, or they're like, "Oh no, I think it's worth this." I think that exercise of barter and trade is really kind of cool. It's really kind of needed for humans. That's just my own opinion. But then we get into talking about what is value, what is valuable. You know what I mean? So, but we've had these conversations before. So also, isn't this an amazing opportunity for someone to just start a new quantum proof currency? I mean, yeah, but at the end of the day, Nacho, I mean, there's 50 million different coins out there. You're gonna have to put on a master class in marketing at this point. And that's the other part of this digital, this digital age that we're in is attention markets, attention currency. You know what I mean? It's hard to get you could have the greatest product in the world if nobody knows it exists, it's GG's.
And
Catalina
it's not
building.
it's not even just that people don't know it exists. A lot of people know, they don't care. That like nobody. What's the point of making a new version of anything if nobody's interested in the existing one? So it's not, the problem isn't more, more encryption or more quantum anything. That's not going to suddenly make that the fresh hip thing that is taking over the money game and everybody's using whatever the new coin. Like, that's not the issue. I think people ignore the issue. The issue is money has to come from somewhere. And all these side quests where everybody's talking about crypto this and decentralized that, that's great. That's great. But your money that you're using to play with all of that is coming from where exactly? It's coming from centralized sources, from your job, from whatever it is you do in the centralized world to actually make money. So until they actually decide that something, it makes sense for them to participate in a digital format, and then all the centralized money is flowing in that way, we're not we're never going to move into that world, because that's, we have to get our money from somewhere. We can't, otherwise there's nothing backing all of this cryptocurrency. It's all being measured in fiat at the end of the day. That's how you assess the value of whatever it is, the crypto you're talking about. You measure it against fiat, because fiat is what's being used to pay for it. So everything else that people that are talking about, to me, this is just my opinion, it's just kind of like people encouraging their own hope for what they wish they could see, what they wish the world could look like, and what they wish economics was, with totally ignoring what the actual reality of the world is. So yeah, it's all good. Whatever quantum crypto article you got is probably cool. I'm just not going to read it because I think everybody's just ignoring basic economics, and until we actually get a handle on that, there's no point in entertaining all of that. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. Boss said, I think people will use it in different ways, and that's the beauty of it. Transacting, building, provides folks opportunities that are not found elsewhere, or offering more ownership. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like there was a time when people can hop in, artists could hop in and not put any fiat into this thing and just put their work out there and
Yeah,
make
but the person
some.
who was going to buy it had to use
Yeah,
fiat. Yeah.
yeah. How do you feel about just, like the miners? Like if it was only the miners, none of it was, do you think that would be a better experiment if it was just, but I mean, no, because you're right. It all comes back down to fiat. Because even when I was explaining, how this magic internet money was even a thing, is we're buying computer components with our fiat.
Well, I think it's just, to me, it's just the wrong framing. Instead of trying to be in this make believe world where we think everything's suddenly just going to become quote unquote decentralized, whatever that means to people, you people could actually use the technology and apply it to the current economic system in a way that makes sense. And that's where the value is. In other words, instead of pretending that you're going to replace, you know, fiat currency, apply decentralized tactics to fiat organizations. You know what I'm saying? Like, governance as a structure doesn't have to be rooted in the economics policy. That could be how you work as a business, as a social organization. This is maybe where the value is in terms of the decentralized part of the argument. Decoupling that from cryptocurrency as just mathematics and encryption that you can use, you know, to tie something to an immutable ledger and link transactions and track things and all these kinds of things. Well, I think financial institutions benefit more from that than the average person. And they probably are already using as much of this as they're comfortable with. So I think that it's just a matter of regular people looking at what actually has value in blockchain technology and the principles surrounding it that we can use and apply to reality instead of using it to like fuel our fantasies about something that isn't here and that may never be here. And so I'm not saying that to say like you shouldn't have dreams about something. Like sure, I envision the world like where Star Trek is, where we've gotten rid of currency and that people just work to for the purpose of society. Like that's what I would like to see. But I know very much, that that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, we a long, long ways off from that, but that would be nice. That would be nice. Not just that, but also laws and regulations, the KYC rules, know your customer, eliminates one of the biggest perks of crypto, which was the anonymity. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, that was always a threat, man. I think, the revolution side of this, the decentralized, anonymous, anybody can get in, anybody can play. As soon as big corporations, big companies, big governments, embrace this thing, all those kind of go out the window. And yeah,
I
how else are we
also
gonna launder money in the future? I'm crying.
Well, I
But
also
I
think the money launderers are what are who sold everybody on thinking that anonymity was built into this. I, Anonymity has nothing to do with it. Nobody ever said that you were never supposed to be able like it. I don't think that had anything to do with the mathematical concepts that were released as part of Bitcoin. Like the whole point was that you could track it based on this ledger, right? The ledger was going to be connected to a wallet. It's completely trackable. So I don't understand like why people automatically link the concepts around it to crypto. Like sure, they're related concepts. I guess I do understand it because it's messaging and it's the way it's been marketed to us and the way we learn to digest it, that these things all go together and that they're like inherently linked. But they aren't necessarily inherently linked. They like you can have crypto without it being anonymous. You can have crypto without it being decentralized. So they are not automatically like things that cannot be decoupled. So I think people have to start making room for that in their heads, that maybe that's the version of it that it most appeals to a certain audience, but there's another audience that maybe doesn't care about that side of it. There's another audience that maybe wants all three, one who just wants, two and a half. Like everybody's not always going to agree when it comes to money. So, especially when you're dealing with the people who have most of it versus the people who don't, there's going to always be some conflict there. So, in take your bets on who wins that fight.
1000%, 1000%. Not just like completely trackable. Okay, who is Satoshi then? I'm crying. I'm crying.
It is trackable. If Satoshi was still out there transacting, you could continue to track that wallet. The fact that they are not, that because it's trackable. Now, it doesn't mean you know who the person is, but the same could be said for other forms of financial transactions. You can obscure your identity, so that's not inherent to Bitcoin in itself. Like that wasn't necessarily part of the math. It's just the nature of the fact that you can make a wallet without having to identify yourself means that there's some, you know, built-in like room for an anonymity. Now, there's ways that you can start tracking that through how you made the wallet, who you made it with. Is there a way to try? There's all kinds of ways you could try to figure things out. Maybe you'll never know who a person is. The same could be said for some random account that was made in some country that doesn't make you give an ID to make a bank account. You know what I'm saying? It's the same principle.
Love it. Love it. I see through cooking. Dina Magic. I dig it. Um, it's awesome. That's awesome. So what do you think the people should do? What do you think the people should look toward the future when it comes to emerging tech?
I think there's more interest in ways that people are thinking to use digital currency to make their lives better. Like when I started seeing apps back in 2021, 22 about how people were making these apps and making these cryptocurrencies so that they could transact without exchange fees and that they were saving all kinds of money, being able to send money to their loved ones overseas. Like that's where the value is, not in trying to make a coin that replaces the dollar, because that's a fantasy, but in actually using the technology in the way that it's meant to be used. Whether that maybe they had some anonymity and that was allowing them to evade taxes and they weren't saying that part out loud, you know. but you know, the exchange fees, these countries have you know, agreed on these fees, so you are actually evading them by doing this. There's just not regulations in place to catch it because the laws aren't fast enough to keep up with whatever this technology is that people are using. You know what I'm saying? So like to me, that was a smart way to use crypto, you know, blockchain, all of it, you know, decentralized. All of this stuff was kind of wrapped up together because the companies that were doing it were decentralized. And so they had coins that you know, bought into to fund this company, and they had DAO associated with it. And you know, if you had a coin, you had governance. You could assign it to someone if you didn't want to actually, you know, vote on things. Yada yada yada. See, I know this stuff just because I don't play the game. I know the game. But anyway, but anyway, all that to say, those are better examples to me, if you're asking me my opinion of how people, everyday people, could actually find value and use this technology.
Love it. Love it. So what about the AI side, huh? What about the AI side? What's going on over there?
Man, it's bloody.
It's bloody.
It's
What you
bloody.
mean?
It's bloody. It just is. Uh, it's a lot of, you know, a lot of VC money flying around has really changed what this is and how it works. And the pressure coming from these Chinese labs open sourcing things that are right on the necks of you know, our number one stunners over here is making it very, very crazy. Then you got this beef with the government. It's a lot going on. And OpenAI is making a lot of moves. Um, Anthropic is kind of consistent, honestly, with their moves. They're not making any real crazy moves. They pretty much stay focused, but they're having a lot of PR stuff going on. And they just decided to like cut off the tap for any method that people were using to use their Claude subscriptions for OpenClaw or any other third-party tools, because their subscription was never really intended for that. Even though other companies are gladly saying, yes, you can use ours, go for it. A lot of that is just positioning to be like against Anthropic, saying like, well, since they won't let you do it, come over here because we will let you do it. So like it's messy, it's bloody. Like everybody's just like, it's a knife fight. Everybody's just kind of shanking each other. Like the China shanking, like we're shanking. Like everybody, bing, bing, bing.
I'm crying. I'm crying. Boss said it feels like it'll become commercialized and folks will use it to take advantage, much like the crypto convo we just had 2 seconds ago. Yeah. Corporations, governments, and big VC dollars.
Yeah, well, I mean, AI kind of has always been commercialized. That's kind of what it is. So that makes it weird because that's really what's driving it more so than it being like the government is invested in AI and has like some military AI that they've created. It's not like it's coming from that. It's all from the commercial sector. So to the point where even they are kind of trying to tell the government, not trying to tell the government what to do, but like there's a battle because this their technology and they want to be able to say you can't do this with our thing.
Interesting. Interesting. I know I've been recently exploring more some open source models, local models to download on my phone and devices and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been looking at. That are still coding, you know? It's amazing.
Well, the real kind of undercurrent that's probably more important is that there have been some advances that have made it so that you can run uh, bigger models on devices that don't have as much GPU RAM. And it's still, the kinks are still getting worked out. There's a couple of different versions of these advancements. This one called Turbo Quant from Google. Nvidia's got some that they're working on. Yes, it's a lot going on. It's good. It's promising. I'm seeing a lot of threads and stuff in Reddit of people claiming that they were able to do things and throwing up repos. I don't have time to like run all of this stuff to test it if they're just doing slop or if it's legit. So I'm just kind of waiting a week for other people to do that. All the YouTubers to test all this stuff and see what's real and what isn't, and then they can tell us because that's their job as far as I'm concerned. So.
That's their job. Hey,
Like, do your job,
independent journalists.
YouTubers. Where's the streams?
Wow, where is the streams? Is crazy. I do need to go see some YouTube videos around this Claude code leak. That was the big news that I've seen this week. But
I think it's the streamers don't say but so much about it because I don't think some of them are not real like developers, like so they don't understand the leak. So what can they really say other than it leaked? So yeah, they're not going to do a lot. They might make a short, but they can't do anything long form about it because they don't know what they're looking at. So yeah, that's all.
so stay tuned. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
No.
I think people are. There's also the legal stuff going on for the people who did try to copy it and were hosting it, copies of it in their repos, and trying to like offer it as something that you could download from them. But yeah, I think some of them had been hit with DCMAs and stuff. They don't want to talk too much about it.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it right there. But it's all good. Not just that. Make a Claude clone. No, no, a Claude clone. No, we good. I'm good off that.
Oh, there people are. I mean, it's out there, so people are
Yeah.
definitely have already started to implement things anyway. Yeah, I mean, Anthropic is pretty open about how they structure their stuff, though. They may not tell you like all the secret sauce. Like a lot of the interesting things in the leak that people were pointing to were not so much the infrastructure of Claude Code because they kind of knew most of that, and at least in a general sense, because Anthropic publishes a lot of information to teach people about this stuff. A lot of the stuff that was getting buzzed was stuff that they had buried, like that they were planning to do or that hadn't been turned on yet. Um, so there's speculation about that because even that isn't full context. Some of it's just like what they saw in the code. They don't have like the rest of the context around it, like the marketing or the meetings that they've had, plans and all of that. So yeah, it's not. That's why I say it's not too much there, other than waiting to see who copies it and waiting to see if there's legal ramifications from copying it. So we'll see what happens with that.
Mm. It's a lot going on out there. It's a lot going on out there. I'm gonna be over here in my Google world. They dropped Gemma 4, so I'm playing around with that.
Funny enough, to Nacho's point, it's not so much that. So that's a they. Nacho said they can't sue because they stole people's data. Yes and no. So yeah, if you stretch that out a little bit, they technically can't sue. The reason they can't sue for the Claude code leak specifically, I feel like they could try to sue, but I feel like they would not have a case, is because they openly say that Claude code like writes itself. And so
Interesting.
current copyright law in the United States is that if it's something completely created by AI only from your prompt, you can't claim copyright over that. So the only protection they really had was keeping it a secret, because when you say that the AI is writing its own code in a world where you are directly involved in these copyright cases, the only real protection they had was keeping it a secret. So they're playing it cool, but they probably are not pleased.
I mean, such is life. Such is life. I don't know. It's interesting. It's crazy.
So
You know.
what are your thoughts on Gemma 4?
It works. I mean, I feel like they're all like they all do essentially what I need them to do. Maybe that's just the way I'm prompting them. I'm over complicating the prompts or whatever, but I mean, I can get, a solid output from any of the models. And I've been using a lot of models on Open Router, been playing whatever's new for the month over there. So, yeah.
And where are you using Gemma 4? Or did you install that on your device?
I did on my phone. So I
Oh, on your
have what's
phone.
that?
So you put
What's
the
the app?
2B?
The 2Billy? Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Let's see. Let me go in and double check. There's an app I'm using. Which one is this? I got two apps on the phone that I can download the models.
Because you can use Google's app directly.
Google's which app? On the phone?
Yeah, they have a Google. Hold on. I think it's called Google Edge Cases.
Interesting.
Yeah, they don't really advertise it. I don't know how it even got on my phone. I'm being honest with you.
I'm crying.
Google AI Edge Gallery.
Okay, Google AI Edge Gallery. Let's see.
I mean, I'm in all their experimental stuff, so they probably sent me an email about it, and I just installed it.
Private fast offline AI. What does that do?
Now, I don't know if it's any different than what you already have installed, so it may not make a difference, but just putting it out there.
Yeah, Gemma 4. Gemma 4 is here.
So what are you
That's
using
pretty
it?
cool.
Like what kind of things are you asking it, or if it's something
Code.
you can share publicly?
Oh yeah, no, I can. Just
I don't know what kind
coding
of stuff you
some.
be talking to your bot
Just trying to ask it
about.
to code some apps, man. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. But mostly I just been building stuff around like the live streaming stuff, seeing how I can integrate with Twitch chat specifically and stuff.
So wait, you're asking the 2 billion parameter Gemma 4
Oh,
model
here we
on your
go.
phone.
Oh, here we go. No, good. I'm just playing.
You're asking the 2 billion Gemma 4 model on your phone code questions?
Is that overkill? I
No.
don't know where you're going with this. Is it
I'm
overkill or underkill?
Stop trying to get ahead of the question. I'm just trying to make sure I'm understanding.
Well, there is no question. You asked the question.
I'm knowing that's what I'm saying. Just answer the question.
No, I'm still seeing what these other bots can do versus like what I've been doing with like Cloud Code. Because I don't know if I'm about to continue with Cloud
You
Code.
really shouldn't trust code answers from a 2 billion parameter model, but that doesn't mean that it would not
How
be
big
able
is
to.
how big is Cloud Code?
Way bigger than that. We don't. Claude Code isn't the model. Claude, just to for
Like
anybody
Opus and
listening.
Sonnet?
Yes, like Sonnet, right? So Opus is
How big
big.
is Sonnet?
Opus is big. I don't know. Like we don't know because they're not open weights models, so nobody has like the exact size of these models.
That makes sense.
There are estimates online, but we're talking like hundreds of billion parameters potentially. Sonnet is probably more like somewhere between 50 and 100,
Yeah.
maybe even smaller, possibly. Haiku is probably somewhere around 20.
So you're saying Gemma 4 with 2 billion is not going to get it done. So what should people use that for if they're going to go and play with that? He said,
Uh,
not code.
well, not for code. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. All of these models have gotten smart enough to the point, especially now that they've added reasoning to them,
Yeah.
that they can pretty much do anything in terms of general conversation. Um, they can create content. The issue is what kind of context window size you're working with, like how many tokens, quote unquote, text characters. Uh, that's not a one to one, but you can use text characters as a replacement in your head if you need to. But how many tokens are you giving it room to use? And the fact that it has reasoning is also coming out of that token budget. So the thought process that it's using in the background is there. Plus what you're asking it, and if there's anything you wanted to look at to help answer you, like search the internet or look at a document, that has to go in there too.
Yeah.
All before the tokens it uses to then produce the answer for you. Um, the issue is that with sometimes with these models being on your local device, the context windows are way smaller than what they can offer you in the cloud, which can be the full, 200,000, 1 million, whatever they are offering currently.
Yeah.
So you could ask it a question and it could be like summarize this YouTube video transcript for me. But if the video was like 4 hours long and it's like 70,000 tokens, that's just, throwing out a number. It probably wouldn't be that long. But let's say it's, 40,000 tokens. But
Yeah.
your little Gemma 2B model on your device only has room to go up to 8,000 tokens. So that summary you get is going to be interesting. I'll put it that way.
So yeah, I'm looking. I'm looking at one of the apps I'm using. It's called Apollo,
Okay.
but I think I misspoke. I think this one I put in my Open Router API. So this Gemma 4 that I'm using says 31 billion.
So that's the bigger one.
Yeah.
Okay. That one you can ask code questions to.
So, but you're saying that on the smaller one, the 2 billion, what is that, the parameter or something? That only has like a 8,000 context
No,
window or
no,
token
no,
window,
no.
whatever.
It can go higher than that. The limitation is coming from your device.
Mm,
Your device
gotcha.
can't go that high.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
A phone only has a certain amount of RAM on it. And running the operating system, whatever else is on there, plus having the model loaded, so have whatever the size of the model is taken out of that. Whatever's left is what can be used for context.
Right.
That doesn't even factor in like what the app you're using sets the context as. When you have a local model, sometimes they default to like 4,000 tokens and you don't even realize because people don't know to check that.
Right.
So yeah, just using the model on a phone, it's not ideal. I'll put it that way. To have it local on a computer that you have more space, maybe yes.
That's cool. Okay.
So you'll see a
Okay.
lot of
Okay.
demos with people saying, "Oh, I ran it on a phone." They're not. All they did was install it and ask a question. They didn't do anything. You can't do too much on the phone.
I'm crying. Yeah, because on this other app, what's this one? Locally, I think locally AI or something like that. And yeah, this one didn't have the Gemma 4 yet. It's got the Gemma 3. it goes up to 4 billion for the QAT. That's 3 gigabytes for the download. The 1 billion is 733 megs. So yeah.
Now, what it could be useful for on a phone, because it's multimodal, it can do image, excuse me, image understanding, and also video and audio transcription. So if you were willing to let your phone sit there, for video, you could let it get hot and burn up. But for an image, it could be cool to definitely, like, if particularly people who might be concerned about privacy, if they wanted to do image classification or like captioning or something like that,
Yeah.
they could definitely do that from their phone. Um, or not even privacy, just not wanting to pay somebody. You know, you could definitely do it from your phone with the small 2B model. Transcription is definitely something that people might be interested in. So it wouldn't be something you could use to do the talking, like voice transcription, like talk to it and then it transcribes for you. But let's say you did voice memos, how everybody's charging you to transcribe them. Well, you, in theory, maybe even with that Google app, if you should be able to just run the audio file through with the 2B and it transcribes it for you. That maybe isn't appealing to somebody who has like Apple Intelligence on their iPhone because that's built
Yeah.
in. But let's say you have an older iPhone, but that you don't have Apple Intelligence, you could install that 2B model and do transcriptions and image analysis, image understanding with the Gemma model on your phone. Same with like maybe an Android phone that doesn't have obviously Apple Intelligence.
Love it. I love it. Well, for me, hey, my phone is old. I don't have any problems letting it burn on up. So let's go ahead and download this Gemma 4 in this Google app and yeah, experiment. Why not? It's only 4
Okay.
gigs.
Okay. I wouldn't bother
Okay.
with the 4. I would just do like
I
little small
see.
stuff with the 2
What do you mean?
because it's not worth it. I mean, if you're like some person in some situation where you don't, all you have is a phone and you can't get to a computer, yes, but it's not. It's experiment for what? Like, there's people who are
Just
doing
because I
it out of
can.
necessity. So I'm saying, like, don't give yourself the harder version of the experiment to make it difficult to the point where it's not worth it. Do the 2B model so it's fast enough and you can actually get value out of it. Also, the 2B model is pretty decent for those tasks, for like image captioning and stuff like that. You don't really
Yeah.
need the 4B. Um, the the value would come in is if you were like trying to feed it more higher resolution images and you wanted like more detailed captioning, like tell me everything in this image, the colors, every single thing, what everybody's wearing. Like, yeah, the 4B model will probably be better for something like that.
So when we're talking about these models and these billions, what is the difference between like a 2 gigabyte and a 4 gigabyte? Is it just the train? I mean, is it the not the gigabytes, my bad, the billions? Is it just the train data set size?
It's yes, basically.
But what are they adding? What are they doubling in there that's going to make it that
More
much better?
is more information. It's smarter.
Mm.
That's basically like an
It's
IQ, basically.
is it twice as smart or is it
Well, that's the thing. If you think about it like an IQ,
yeah.
if it's a task that only requires average intelligence, what difference does it make if this person is Albert Einstein? You don't need Albert Einstein. I don't need, like, if you just need somebody to put the bun on the top of the burger and wrap it up and pass it to the next person on the assembly line, like, like you don't need a
Right.
genius model for that. So I think that's the thing. People will have to have discernment at a certain level of what model to use, and some of that is being abstracted away from people because of the products that they're using, because they shouldn't have to think that hard for some
Right.
of this. So like ChatGPT has kind of made it auto, so that it just kind of, based on your question, routes it to the version of whatever their current models are that can best answer your question. Claude has just kind of gotten to the point of like pushing out their old versions, so you don't even see them, whatever the new one is. Like there's probably some drop down where you can get to the last version, but not like the one before that or the one before that, and you have to go looking for the old version. So really the only choices they're giving you is Opus, Sonnet, and Haiku. And I think before now, well, when I say now, before last few months, most people were probably fine with Sonnet and didn't really need Opus unless they were coding. Um, then it became like popular to use Opus the most because the coders were really hyping it, because that was, the obviously the better model out of all of them. And Anthropic had come out with these max plans that you could subscribe, so you didn't have to like go broke on the API using Opus. You could start using these max plans and pay like $100 a month, 50, 100. Then they went to the 200, and that was like magic to people because you were spending that in a day for some of these developers. So that's where it has all kind of shifted, and now there's still, you have choice on there, but they're really kind of narrowing it so that it's really you use our platform, don't worry so much about the model. Like now you pay monthly, just use Opus, it'll refresh tomorrow. OpenAI routes it for you. Gemini, I don't really know if anybody's using Gemini for coding, or if anybody's really paying for Gemini that is using it for the model. Like I think people that pay for Gemini probably are using like a lot of the video stuff, enjoy some of the perks from Notebook LM.
Yeah.
There's a lot that comes with the paid plans for Google. Um, I don't know if it's the Gemini models per se. They're not bad. They're just not the ones you think of for coding tasks as first. So basically it's just IQ. The parameter size does correlate to the size of the memory it's going to take, not as a direct comparison, like that 2 billion isn't 2 GB, but the bigger the parameters, if it's a 2B or 4B or 70 billion, whatever they're naming it as model, it is going to be bigger in terms of how much space it would take up.
Boom. You heard it. You heard it here first from I See Through.
Yeah,
Dina Magic.
there's levels to this. If y'all, if you ever have more questions like that, totally ask. Because I think a lot of people just hear this stuff and don't know what it means and don't really stop to find out and just keep moving. Like, what can it do? Just tell me what it can do.
I like that. I like that. Let me see. I'm gonna pull up. Let's see if I can screen share it. Why is it not working? Oh, never mind. Because it's on airplane mode. So that was the whole reason that I'm interested in running these local models, is on my own device for the resource conversation. But I was trying to share screen and show it.
I mean, it still will run the model offline even if your Wi-Fi is on.
No, I know. I want completely in the desert. I want completely in the desert. We out of here.
But this is interesting in a sense, because I think it might be some version of Gemma that ends up powering Siri.
Mm-hmm. You think it's gonna be Gemma?
I mean, that was the thought process based on the way the Apple statement came out. It wasn't so much that they said that they would just use Gemini. They said they would be using Google's models. and they said it in a way I can't remember the exact wording, but that was the impression I took, like that they would be maybe using a custom or fine-tuned version of Gemma that was purposely fine-tuned for their use cases, trained on Apple stuff or Siri existing code and how to connect to things in iOS and all these kinds of things. And I really was kind of given that impression even more by one of the models in that little Google Edge AI or AI Edge, whatever app. It has a really small model, like there's only 270 million parameters, so it's very small. And it's, what does it say? It's to run commands on your device. I haven't tried it, but I did install it because it was so small. I just hadn't had a chance to see what it actually can do. Oh, okay. It's got all kind of new things popping up because of the new Gemma models. Hold on. Mobile
On
action.
that Google app.
Yeah, so it's a mobile actions model, and it says it can perform various device actions through functions Gemma or function Gemma, which is another model that they use that should be, I think it's combined into Gemma 4 now. Yeah, but I never saw, like, I don't know what it can actually do because I haven't tried it yet. Yeah, but these are things that, like, for people listening, like this Google AI Edge Gallery app, anybody can install it. These small models should fit on any modern phone. Like, if you have an iPhone, you could go back as far as like an iPhone 12 or 11 if it's a Pro and try some of these small ones. It may not be like super fast, but if you just want to experiment and tinker.
Do you think that 4 billion is gonna be slow on some of the
You,
older phones?
yes,
Okay.
the phones don't have enough RAM because they didn't start putting more RAM into the phones because they didn't need to until AI started being a thing.
Mm,
The phone, to run the operating system and the apps, doesn't need 12, 16 gigabyte. A phone does not need that.
yeah.
So, trying to run these models on top of the operating system, if the phone only has 4 gigabytes or 5 gigabytes of RAM, when the model itself is 2 gigabytes and the iOS is taking up two, 2.5, it's very little room to breathe there. But that small 270 million one, that function one to run actions on your device, that was very small. So that you could try that on any device. Yeah. But I mean, honestly, if you have a computer, this is just my advice. I would not spend my time here on some old phone trying to force it to play with current technology. Like that's not really a good use of your time. If that's all you have and it's your only gateway into it, then it's something
Mm,
you can start with. But if you have other, a computer basically, then that's really where you should be playing with this.
love it. Love it. Experiment, explore. Yes. We'll keep you up to date. We'll keep you up to date. Nah, that's fire. I dig it, I see. I dig it, I see. We're at 11. It's an amazing OhnahjiU Saturday, I'm not gonna lie. You came through and cooked. Got a lot
I
of
have a
homework.
question for you.
Of course, yes.
What are you using these days, or if you're using any one thing, in terms of like where you keep things, where you save things, notes, files, pictures that go with those notes? Like, I know we've had conversations about different tools and
Yeah.
you tried different things. Have you landed anywhere?
No. I still well, I mean, my workflow is still like Discord, not gonna lie. If my Discord server, the other server, if it went down or something happened, no, it would be fine. But yeah, that's where all my stuff's at.
So you use it like how I had like the danger room set up?
Yeah, pretty much. But
Okay.
not organized though.
And and there's nothing wrong with that. The only reason I gravitated away from it is because there was only one format. And so they didn't have the forums yet. So there was no way to do that. I don't know if they had threads yet. Um, so yeah, it was just like a wall of text. And it was fine, like in the moment, like to save stuff there. Using it in that moment is fine. I know how to save things. I can embed what I want. Like I can put a video, image, anything I want, right? It seems like there's no limitations. Nothing is stopping me or slowing me down, which is
Yeah.
good because that friction makes it weird. And maybe because it's one format, I wasn't being forced to decide about a format. So that was also good. Like there's one box for me to put stuff into. I I decide what I put in there. I hit the button. I'm done.
Yeah.
But when it came time to like connect AI to that to be able to get that out or do something with it, or maybe have more options to put it in different formats, Notion just was speaking to me because all of that was there.
Mm, makes sense.
So that's just kind of why I moved out of the Discord environment because it just like it wasn't made for content as much as it was for communication. So using it by myself, even now, like I use Discord to talk to the open call bot, right?
Yeah.
But I only do that because it allows me to split things up into threads and all these different things for communication. But everything is being saved from those conversations in like as markdown files that I can look at in Obsidian.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just
Okay.
curious where you landed. Um,
I
Obsidian
think,
is weird, blank slate that is hard to know where to start.
yeah.
But yeah, go ahead. You was gonna say something?
With some of like the larger files, because I don't have Nitro anymore for Discord, which I was using for before. Telegram actually does some pretty large files too. So if I need like to transfer a large file and it's between not Mac OS, then I use Telegram too, in the same type of way as like the Discord server.
I hear you. Well, I will say this for Obsidian. Once I kind of I'm going through the gamut of trying to use it a couple of different ways. Um, Including like load it up with all these plugins and customize the hell out of it. And now I'm basically, I have a short list of plugins that I use for very specific reasons. That's it. I don't even go look to see what the new plugins are. I don't care. Um, because AI has gotten to the point now where it can connect directly just to your file system, which is where you're on your computer. That's where the Obsidian files are. Then or you can sync it with a GitHub repo. So basically, if you're talking to Claude on the chat on the website, you could connect it to your repo on GitHub, and it can read your notes and see your files that way. It's free to sync with GitHub. So
Mm,
to
okay.
me, like if you simplify the way you approach it, don't try to overcomplicate it. Like, don't even worry about plugins for real. Like, it has core plugins that it comes with. Don't worry about the community plugins. Just try to use it the way it comes. And the guy who makes it, he has like a sample vault that shows you how he uses it. It's real basic, but it's a good way to start. And that's basically what I did. I got rid of like my old vault with all the extra stuff. I just parked it, and I just took his sample vault, and that's what I've been using ever since. And I've connected like I made another one for the open call. Same thing, sample vault. Go to town. It's yours from here. Yeah, I can give that endorsement now that I've like kind of stripped away the complexity for Obsidian. Like if you just use it basic the way it comes, it's totally free. You can sync with GitHub. The files will be on your device, but also in GitHub. And then if you use another device, like on your phone, then it would just sync. The same files would sync down to that device. For me, I just used iCloud Sync because my Mac Mini is on 24/7. So that's kind of like the cloud for me for everything. That kind of is my own personal cloud. So yeah, it just my phone will sync to iCloud, my iPad, everything.
Okay, I'm gonna have to play around with it. I'm gonna have to play around with it when I get a free minute. Now you cooking though, okay? Because I was wondering about Obsidian a while back. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Hey, we all got a lot of homework. I dig it. I dig it. All right. All right. What you about to get into the rest of the weekend, man?
I don't know. I'm gonna go outside though. We haven't had like clear weekend of good weather for a while. So
Here you go.
outside is calling me.
Yes, sir. I feel that. I feel that, man. Absolutely. It's beautiful and sunny out here in LA. So yeah, I'm gonna be on that vibe as well too. Um, Chat in the building, pretty girl in the building. Happy 1 year streaming. Hey, appreciate you. It's a vibe. I can't wait to get started in this year too. We can get some things rocking it and grooving and moving. Shout out to chat going in, going crazy. Boss in the building. Good to see you, family. As always, Nacho doing big things, man. Amazing questions, amazing commentary today for Sheezy. Yes, nah, y'all are goaded. That's what's up. And my guy, co-host, I see through Dina Magic over here. Hey, big brain energy, man. If you guys have any questions, he's over in the Discord too, man. Come through the court and say what's up. Get some of those gems that are over there hidden in the court for sure. Um, but yeah, me and we gonna get up out of here. We gonna get outside. Enjoy the sunshine, all that good stuff. Um, Another OhnahjiU Saturday. First one of April, April 4th, going in, day 230. It's been amazing, man. It's been amazing. Shout out to you, I. Anything you want to leave the people with before we get up out of here?
Go outside.
Go outside. Facts. Facts. The IRL is coming back. It's been back. But yeah. All right, y'all. I'm OhnahjiB founder, Brian behind Onhaji and Onhaji University. Got IC through Dina Magic at the U, OG, day one super supporter, man. Catch us back Saturday next week again, 10 a.m. PST, and we'll be back tomorrow. Let's see, Easter Sunday. I don't know. I don't know if the 10 a.m. is gonna get it done tomorrow. We'll see. I'm gonna try. If not, I'll keep an eye on the noties, and I'll let you guys know when we do our daily stream for tomorrow for day 231. Um, but yeah, y'all have a good rest of the weekend and keep cooking, keep building, keep experimenting, keep grinding, all that good stuff. And let us know how we can support you if you guys are building some amazing things. We want to see it. We want to help celebrate and share it and all that good stuff. W Stream, absolutely, pretty girl. All right, y'all. We out of here, family. Y'all be good. Peace.